Hello and welcome to Season 11, Week 1, EVF versus Virtual Secret. We've been having some teething issues, let's say, as we've been approaching this point, but stay with us and hopefully we'll be kicking off any second now. We're on, of course, Suburbia as map 1. The bands, let's have a look at the bands between these two teams. Now, these are two bronze teams who've been playing Onward for at least 2 or 3 seasons. EVF has been playing for a good 8 or 9 seasons, but have taken breaks now and again, and it's a relatively new lineup from that team. So the bans are EVF banning Quarantine, and Virtual Secret, I believe, are banning Bizarre, which is a bizarre choice considering there are 2 custom maps in rotation, USS Quest and Sand. I would have thought one of the teams would have banned them, but remains to be seen. At the moment, EVF only got 3 players in the lobby, and we're hoping that they will be able to join soon. But I thought I'd bring you some update that we're almost there. Just hang on a few more minutes. I'm going to go back into pre-show as we await the arrival of the last 2 players. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen, as we go into possibly the first casted match of the season. I don't know. Shame on me. But it's going to be a fantastic season. A lot of new casters coming up, a lot of new teams, new maps, new everything really, new build of Onward, so lots to look forward to. Anyway, I will be back shortly. Stay tuned. And we're back. We have now 10 players in the lobby, and all fingers are crossed. We're going to be starting soon. Time will tell, of course. But it's looking hopeful. It is looking hopeful. So, a little bit about both our teams. EVF, a French team. Virtual Secret, a cross-multinational team. Most of the players are Belgian players, but they've got at least one Canadian player and at least 2 English players as well, 2 British players, should I say. As we go into round 1 with Virtual Secret in the north with a red car objective to defend. And my performance is tanking for some reason. I apologize for the jerkiness that you're seeing right now, or we'll be seeing in a second. I have no excuse. Alright, as we see Virtual Secret charging in. Some C4s defensively. Pretty straightforward line out. No charges coming in from the defenders. Torvenator picking up FR in the lane 1 at the back. Great pickup from Torvenator. Good spread from EVF here. Checking for any counterattacks, none of which are coming, of course. But they could not possibly know that. You can see EVF playing very, very careful here. Oh, GMX finds Torvenator, but Torvenator's bullets find him first, and it leaves EVF down to 3 players, holding the center ground with Torvenator holding lane 1. Kestrel now looking for X-Eyes, looking for Torvenator, but not able to find him. Meanwhile, Maxim holding a tight line. End of the street with Will FR next to him. Will he have heard him? I apologize for the jumpy performance. My very powerful PC is struggling right now, and it was running absolutely fine. I wonder if it's a build issue. It's an issue that I am yet to find out. I will continue with the jerkiness until the end of this round, and I will try to troubleshoot it in between rounds. At the moment, I will try to move the camera as little as possible. Kestrel moving up now. Hasn't been found by Torvenator or anyone. Will FR charging round. Will FR picking up Maxim. No, counterfire picking up Will. He should have been punished by someone covering that line, but Will able to come round, take down Maxim. Kestrel found by Stidge. 2 versus 4 now. Will rotating round. Monsieur VR looking for looking for X-Eyes. Grenade comes out. Oh, it's too short. X-Eyes lives. Lizardbark on a wide flank takes out Will FR. Stidge finding Monsieur. Stidge in a great position there. The Virtual Secret defense holding tight. With only 1 loss. Good opening round then. All Virtual Secret. The defense holding very impressively. I'm going to sign off for a moment as I try to figure out what is causing my massive issues. So I feel like I've sorted out my issues, but we shall see when we go into round 2. Virtual Secret lineup there, unaggressive. They'd had a good sight lines across the entirety of the map. Torvenator able to pick up 2 kills on lane 1, which changed the entire dynamic of the entire round, really, because it meant that there was no flank coming in from EVF. EVF then deciding to push through, generally through the center, and suffering there as well as the crisscross defense held them back. No use of smokes, no aggressive smokes to help with the push from EVF. Perhaps not used to using the smokes again after the Season 10 ban. But we shall see now as we go into round 2. Virtual Secret on the attack. Will they be able to do what EVF was unable to? Penetrate that defense? Or will EVF hold strong? Refire coming out, not catching anyone, but putting some pressure on EVF. That's Virtual Secret out of the gates. And again, I'm getting issues the moment the round starts. I'm very apologetic about this, ladies and gents. Xi picking up Jim. Looks like Jim tried to do a flank round lane 4. No idea what is going on with my performance. Last season was running all fine. I've not changed anything. You can see Monsieur pushed up in an interesting defensive position, which you don't usually tend to see. And again, you can see that Virtual Secret very wary of flanks. Torvenator covering the same line he was before, but just on the reverse direction. To answer him, we have Will FR. Oh, this is really, really tough to move this mouse without it jerking all over the place. Oh, this is making me feel a bit queasy, actually. Will punishing Torvenator just as Torvenator punished Will in the last round. Leaving it at a 4 versus 4 with EVF. Still having strong sightlines, but arguably very weak in the east. If you look at the defense makeup, they have middle strong. They have south, they have west strong, but in the east, they have nothing. Almost no coverage. Of course, Virtual Secret can't know that. Virtual Secret with player held all the way at the back of the map. For any kind of flank. Maximum in the center of the area. Apologies for what you're about to see. But with all the jerkiness, it's impossible for me to move this camera smoothly at the moment. Bit of a lull now, as Virtual Secret's still awaiting for any kind of peak, any kind of movement from EVF. Some pre-fire going out, but there are no EVF on this side of the map. EVF still choosing to hold the center and the northwest. They have a clear kill count, a clear loss count on Virtual Secret side, on EVF. I assume the same. They know they've lost a player, they don't know if there's any trades though. But they know they have at least 1 kill. Blizzardvok now quite close to Monsieur. Stitch smokes coming out. Perhaps just to cause some tension on the objective, but the smokes are arguably going too far. Interesting grenade coming out. Or not a grenade, I don't know what that was. Maybe a flash? I didn't hear any pop from it. Monsieur and Blizzardvok, meters away from each other. Is holding a tight line. You're not holding a tight line at all, but just waiting for anything to happen. Kestrel picking up Stidge as he charges around. And Blizzardvok and Monsieur, of course, kill each other. Absolutely, as I take my camera off them. Kestrel now. Castile, sorry, looking. The last 2 remaining Virtual Secret players, they can't know that there was a trade around the corner, so they don't necessarily appreciate that it's 3 versus 2 in their favor. Castile looking, unable to find. Xi's possibly just got sightlines on him. Shots coming out on Maxim. From Thought. Maxim finds Castile, bringing it to 2 versus 2. Maxim now behind the Hesco, as Thought is looking for him. Well, FR looking from the objective so far away from both of them. One single smoke could lead to a cap right now. But of course, Virtual Secret can't know where those last 2 defenders are, and smokes come out in odd locations. Maxim single shotting Will FR in the head. Or leaving it on Thought. FR now against Virtual Secrets, Maxim and Excise. Shots coming out of Maxim, but not fighting. Meanwhile, Excise still on the back line behind Maxim, not really offering any real support, but potentially offering a refrag potential. A long range, something comes out, it's a frag, it's an airburst in the middle of nowhere, unfortunately, for EVF. Shots coming out, Thought and Maxim trade, but with Excise still alive, Virtual Secret take round 2, map 1 on Suburbia. I'm going to try and troubleshoot my issues once again. Please bear with me, and I offer my humblest apologies to you wonderful viewers. We're going into round 3 now. I've recharged the flux capacitors and kicked some tires. Hopefully it'll help. Again, not really sure what's happening or what's been causing the issues. Seems a bit smoother right now as EVF still looking for that first point on the board. Middle mansion objective. Always a beautiful one to see. This is such varying defensive and offensive tactics. EVF choosing to charge heavily through the middle. Monsieur FR on the flank, offering some suppression fire. Blizzard Vark, not really sure where his shots are going. He sees multiple FR running past him. He doesn't get any of them. He gets killed. Team kill in the middle. Excise coming around to Thought, takes him down. Will FR also taken down, leaving only Monsieur on the flank. That could have been an amazing push from EVF, but unfortunately they lost momentum and that team kill really stifled them. Leaves just one attacker left. Unexpected out of the gates. Really thought EVF had a strong push on their hands, but it's all fallen apart. It really, I mean, the psychology that goes into being the last player alive, when you have no idea of the kill counts, you just know that you're the only one left, you're nowhere near the objective, you haven't killed anyone yourself. So much pressure now. He has no idea of the enemy makeup, the locations, literally anything. He just knows he's alone. Maximum on a tight line down the middle here. If he holds it, he will catch Monsieur on the pass. But he's having to check his own flank. Monsieur's seconds left. And the shot misses him. Oh no, he catches him just as he's about to go out of line of sight as Virtual Secret take round 3. Great plays there from Virtual Secret. Great play from EVF. A lot of potential. But just was not to be. as the momentum was stifled by the team kill. And also, Excise on the outside window able to peek in and catch 2 cheeky kills in the back, with EVF having no idea that Excise was breathing literally down their necks. At the moment, Virtual Secret commanding this map. The lowest they've gone down to is 2 players, or arguably 1.5, 3 rounds in, whereas EVF are struggling to get a footing. Now, interestingly, I know Virtual Secret have been actively scrimming a lot in the EU scene. They scrim the boss fight quite regularly. So I've been seeing this team slowly grow. They had a tough season last season, some highs, some lows. But I know they've been active through the off-season. EVF, I'm not really so sure. I see the individual players playing a lot, but I have no idea how active their scrimming time is. But at the moment, Virtual Secret's scrims and practice have been paying off. Hopefully we'll see EVF come back alive and take the next round, because I do not want Suburbia to end so quickly. EVF in the past have been a fantastic team with fantastic players. Never quite reached the heights I've been thinking the potential of, but season 11, it's all to play for. And you know what? This early in the season, you can afford a loss or 2, or 3, or 4. It's going to be, season ahead. There's challenges to get you back up there, challenges, scrims to get your practice back in, but challenges to get those cheeky MMR points back, as well as the regularly scheduled games. And with new teams out there, arguably fresh pickings for EVF, they need to bounce back. But I'm speaking too early at the moment. Virtual Secret are 3 points up, and it is only map 1. It's all still to play for. Both teams opting for relatively slow defenses. EVF a bit braver on the defense in the opening rounds. See, their attack was very aggressive into Middle Mansion just now, but not quite as aggressive as it should have been. The momentum would have taken them past Excise. But again, you aren't to know those things when you're in the heat of battle. As we go into round 4, map 1, Suburbia, EVF versus Virtual Secret. Let's see how Virtual Secret opt to approach this objective. Slow and steady, or are they going to charge? At the moment, they're charging out of the gates. Torvenator watching the flank. Stidge moving up, and now, yeah, you can see they're all pushing up to defensive positions, so the aggressive push is not quite there. The defense opting 2 upstairs, 1 downstairs, 2 at the back. Now, the issue with having people at the back is that if they are unable to get the kill as enemies approach in and the middle gets wiped out, the close defense gets wiped out, it's almost a guaranteed cap. But holding that back building means that they have better coverage. Jim finding Excise in lane 1. And about 50 confirmation bullets coming out there as Maxim returns fire on the window. Jim's straight back down. Stidge and Blizzardvark, meanwhile, in lane 3, looking for any potential enemy approaches. Any flanks. A grenade going out. Preemptive grenade. Doesn't catch anyone. Blizzardvark slowly checking into playground. Meanwhile, EVF defense holding tight. 3 men on the objective, 2 with Overwatch. Smokes coming out, but they seem like the disruptive smokes rather than push smokes, as the smokes are going way too far. Possibly disrupting, hoping to disrupt the south building. But Virtual Secret not pushing up. In the meanwhile, Jin finds Maxim as Maxim tried to get a grenade in through the window. Jim was all over it. And the issues are back. Seemed like we'd escaped it. Thought I'd solved it, but having terrible performance once again. No idea where the performance drop's coming from. Virtuelle endeavor to move the camera as little as possible to try and refrain from making you all vomit. 3 Virtual Secret players left now, all on the central area, favoring the east side. Blizzard and Thought trading, leaving only 2 Virtual Secret left. Stitch now pushing up into the center mansion, or next to the center mansion. Will, with not quite sight lines onto him. Meanwhile, Blizzardvark. Wow, Stitch picks up Will FR as Will FR trades out, charges round, finds Monsieur. Now 2 versus 2 with Virtual Secret taking the momentum. Awkward place to move the camera around. Fortunately, I'd saved this location earlier for just this. A flash goes down, but no follow-up from Castile. A grenade, possibly. It won't find anyone. Possibly find Castile, though. All 4 remaining players in this central building now. Interestingly, Virtual Secret not opting to go to the south and try and get any picks through the window. The tension palpable as EVF have to hold this line. It's a trade, but Stage is only down and is resible as Bidarko charges up. Jim finds him and EVF take a point, keeping them in this map. Stage opting to not res his teammate, possibly a mistake there. But again, his momentum could have carried him up as EVF put the first point on the board and keep their dreams for taking Suburbia alive. Bear with me, I'm still trying to problem solve the issues that are plaguing me right now, and by extension plaguing your viewership of this awesome match. I think I've resolved it once again, but we shall see. I have literally no idea what is causing this issue. I will get to the bottom of it. I mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, I will get to the bottom of this problem. As EVF point on the board with a strong hold in the middle, it looked like for a second that Virtual Secret were going to swing it back. They were down 4 versus 2, and they managed to swing it back to a 2 versus 2, 1.5 versus 1. But EVF defense holding tight upstairs. Virtual Secret's momentum stalled now. Will we be able to see EVF come back on the attack? It's a capable objective. It's the south objective next to the tank. With guts, glory, smokes, and some suppression. This is very much a capable objective. Let's see if EVF are capable. I'll give them some confidence back in. It gives them that again, the psychological effect of just getting that 1 point on the board. It can be a huge difference, because now Virtual Secret, who were riding that high, have been knocked down a peg, and EVF back in the game. Looking at the kill breakdown right now, we've got on EVF, we have Will and Jim with 3 kills apiece. On Virtual Secret, we have Stage with 5 kills, Maxim with 4. The rest, actually on Virtual Secret, 3, 3, and 3. So actually pretty good spread on Virtual Secret, and not a bad spread on EVF with 3, 3, 1, 2, 1. Everyone working for the pay tonight. Looks like both teams using their allotted 2 minutes, possibly a little bit more, to discuss tactics, and who can blame them? The opening match of the season. Obviously there's going to be some nerves. Been a while since season 10, so even though there has been some tournaments, etc. in the meantime, I'm not quite the same as playing the league games. Nothing quite like VRML Onward League. really get your blood going, especially in a competitive Onward environment. There is nothing quite like it as we go into round number 5 with EVF. Still 1 point away from losing the opening map, but with a point on the board, it's still to play for. Virtual Secret on defense. Pre-fire coming out from Monsieur again. Seems to be the pre-fire player for EVF. Thought on the flank. Heavy push through the middle by Castile, Jim, and Will. But again, heavy defense in the middle from Virtual Secret in the form of Excise, Blizzard, Bark, and Torvenator. Excise choosing a very similar position to what scored him so many kills in the middle mansion objective. Jim pushing around the side, quite open here. 21 upstairs. Castile finds Torvenator and Blizzardvark. Was that a shotgun I just heard? Amazing attack from Castile. I wish I'd been a little bit closer. He charges up with a shotgun and gets 2 kills with it. Fantastic play. It's not often you see the shotgun used in League in matches, but it's great to see it used so effectively in this case. Excise now aware he's just lost 2 teammates in the middle mansion he's trained in. Meanwhile, Maxim and Excise on cross-stitch purposes on the objective as smokes coming out. This offers a great cap potential. Excise switching his view around. Smokes all over the objective. Oh, wow. This is great to see. So many smokes everywhere on the objective. This is definitely a cap potential. But Jim choosing to go run around the side where there is no smoke. Suppression fire coming out. Excise finds Monsieur as he charges to the middle. Grenade barely misses Jim. Maxim charging out, getting a kill in the middle. Excise getting another kill. Jim in a capable position. Will now down as it brings it to a 3 versus 2 as Maxim and Excise are just tearing through the attackers. Stitch finds Jim, leaving only Thought. This was a very, very capable moment. Virtual Secret coming alive to defend it. Turning it back on EVF. And again, EVF's momentum could have carried that to them to a victory, but they lost the momentum when they needed it most. Thought now getting flanked by Excise, and it's a trade, meaning Virtual Secret take map 1 on what looked like could have been a cataclysmic push from EVF there. It looked very much like that was heading towards a cap, but it was not to be, as Virtual Secret, the away team, take map 1 in dramatic style. EVF, thank you for putting up such a great fight just then. It really looked like you were all over it, and those smokes coming out completely surrounding the objective. Very much cap potential. I wouldn't say wasted, because Virtual Secret got super active as they realized they were in a very precarious defensive position. I'll be very interested to see what map 2 will be. Suburbia was a close range map. There's still Downfall in the mix. Snow Peak as well, I believe. So there's still 2 large maps that are playable. Of course, there's Sand as well, and USS Quest as 2 custom map variants to choose from. I do believe that this will be Virtual Secret's pick. So I actually have no idea what they will pick. Possibly Downfall. It's a map I know that they've been strong on in the past. And I know I've seen EVF do some clever things on Downfall in the past, with sneaking players in through central areas and silent kills, knife kills and such on Downfall. Do cheeky little things like that, which are always fantastic to behold. Still waiting to find out what map 2 will be. I guess there's lots of discussions in French going on, as obviously the Belgian players, some of them will speak French, and of course all the French players will hopefully speak French as well. It's interesting where the mind wanders. Virtual Secret taking map 1, 4 points to EVF is 1. But EVF coming alive in the last few rounds, really putting the pressure on Virtual Secret. There's nothing, again, like being in that situation when you're a Virtual Secret. Just, you know, your central defense has gone. The people with the Overwatch on the objective are dead, and there's smokes all around the objective. Now, it's interesting to see Virtual Secret didn't actually charge anyone into that smoke, but neither did EVF. Almost like they were scared to go into it, lose line of sight. And I can't say I blame them. I want to be able to see where I'm going as well. Jim X, though, on the other side of the tank, had an opportunity to push in, but with all the gunfire that was happening all around him, I don't blame him for being a little bit suppressed there. Of course, had, I believe, Stidge from Virtual Secret on the other side of him. Again, that could have led to disaster. As I realize now that the map has been abandoned. Let's see if I can find the one that it's been moved to. I was wondering what was taking so long. Then I realized I was the only person still here. I'm going to cut to an intermission as I try and find the game. And we are back as map 2, it turns out, is indeed USS Quest, which comes as a surprise to me. I did not think I would be seeing Virtual Secret choose USS Quest. It's a map that arguably is a short-range map, very similar to Cargo in many respects. A very aggressive map, fun one to watch. Just considering its deceptively small, you know, the small size of it, there's a lot of actual tactics that can be employed, lots of different lanes, etc. to pick. Recent change to the map had the colors of the containers being changed, yes, for call-out purposes. And one would believe that Evolution Shipping had something to do with sponsoring this map, whatever Evolution Shipping is. I've got to be honest, absolutely shocked that we're seeing USS Quest coming out from Virtual Secret. I know I've already mentioned that, just never would have occurred to me that they would pick it. I guess part of the psychological in picking some of the custom maps is that you make an assumption maybe that the opposing team might not have spent as much time practicing the custom maps as your team, which could have an impact, of course, on the tactics the opposing team will pick. With one in the bag already for Virtual Secret, I suppose they can risk going for a custom map as their choice, the only choice of the night. I suppose they did win on Suburbia, and again, that is a close-range aggressive map. Or can be a close-range, well, it is a close-range map, can be aggressive depending on how people play it. So, I suppose this quest isn't so dissimilar. God. I'm just happy I found the server and they didn't launch the game without me. And I think I've sorted out all the teething issues with the performance as well. I don't know what was causing it. I just banged my PC a few times with my foot, and it seems to have fixed the problem. If in doubt, kick it. That almost went to very dark places, and at the very last moment, I chose not to go there. Okay, we have 10 players. They all look like they're ready. We will be starting round 1, map 2, week 1, very soon. Okay, as we go into round 1. USS Quest, Virtual Secret on the attack against EVF on the defense. Eastern objective. This is, again, a very capable objective. You have to try and hold it from the east approach, and of course, all of the west approach, but key being here that if enemies are able to push down this east approach and keep the defenders suppressed in the west or in the south, then an objective is very, very, very doable. EVF choosing a heavy defense on the objective. Wow, I have not seen a defense like this on this objective before, and I like it a lot. The remaining player holding back in the west as well. He's holding southwest, so very, very tight on objective defense. They do not want to drop a cap here. As meanwhile, as we suspend ourselves above the bath, Blizzard Vark, Torvenator, and Stidge pushing down the red alley. And Maximum Excise. Jim-X finds Stidge on the wide angle. Torvenator and Blizz unable to get a refrag as Jim keeps his head low. Grenade comes out, but it's short. It's a flash. Does not catch Jim. Blizz pushes out. Maximum finds Castile. Smoke. Flash straight on top of Blizzard Vark, but thought Jim-X can't see him. Torvenator can. Torvenator picks up Jim, saving Blizzard Vark. Excise finding Monsieur on the outside as he rotated out, leaving only Thought now on the objective. Grenade comes out, but it won't find Thought. Virtual Secret now with 2 in the east, 1 in the west, 2 in the west. Wow, Thought is in a really precarious position here as the solo defender. He is pretty much surrounded on all sides. Flash comes out, possibly catches him. Thought not reacting like he's been caught though. Holding a tight line. Perhaps he was caught. Torvenator possibly going to pick up Thought in a second. Thought picks up Blizzard Vark and Torvenator. Just a confirmation as it brings it to a 2 versus 1 from a 4 versus 1. Great play from Thought. Great reactions. Put a lot of thought into it. Yes, I went there. You better believe. Objective. He has no eyes directly on the objective now. Excise coming around a wide angle. Could catch the side of Thought. Doesn't see him though, it looks like. Maxim and Excise still in a position to bring this home for Virtual Secret. But with no idea where the final defender is. A bit wary of attacking. Excise again, almost seeing Thought, but Thought rotating out of a position where Excise could have seen him. Maxim still looking. Virtual Secret playing this properly. With 3.5 minutes on the clock, they do not need to rush this. They can identify where the final player is. They could potentially squeeze a cap out of it. Meanwhile, Thought staying tight in. The crouch walking may eventually work against him as he's looking for the attack as smoke's coming in now, which are going to be putting pressure on him, but he knows where the smoke's coming from. This may allow Maxim to push up on the side and flank and get a cap. Excise looking for Thought, but ironically Excise's own smoke grenades blocking his view to Thought. Thought looking for that push. Any second now, could catch side of Excise. He's holding exactly the right angle to catch both Maxim and Excise as they choose to attack from roughly the same positions. Excise charging out now. Maxim at the same time, they're overlapping. This could work against them. Thought sees Excise, brings it to a 1 versus 1. Maxim must have heard where the shots are coming from. Excise is resible. Maxim picking up Thought as Thought almost held the line. Amazing play from Thought there as he picks up 3 kills on Virtual Secret. Virtual Secret taking round 1. Of Map 2 USS Quest. Great opening round. Thought almost able to hold the line all by himself there. However, Virtual Secret. Maxim on the refrag. Thought not able to get the confirm. And arguably, I mean, I know the pressure's on you when you're in those situations, but when you get that kill, I mean, in my head, I'm always right. I've got the kill. I need to get the heck out of here. Especially when I'm the solo defender. I'm aware I've just given myself away. Especially if I think the enemy know that I'm the solo defender. I always try and reposition away. Virtual Secret showing strength again, though. That Eastern push finding 2 defenders. The Western push finding the other 3, though. Confidence in their plays right now. You can tell they've got tactics for these objectives. They've practiced these. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going. And I was surprised by EVF's defense. But if you can't see where they've died like I can, but you see EVF's initial defensive outline completely changed once the map started. So they had a very tight hold around the objective, which kind of loosened as the round kicked off. Not to say it worked against them. I just think that Virtual Secret's spread allowed them to gain map advantage and sight lines, which eventually led to EVF's downfall. We go into round 2, map 2, Virtual Secret versus EVF. EVF on the attack now. Can we see the kind of confidence that we saw out of them in Suburbia? I speak a little bit of French. I can say, hello, my name is, I live here, and where is my pen? But that's about it. Not very useful in Onward, arguably. Similar-ish? No, actually, no. They're giving up the west completely. Holding sight lines on the defense instead. Smoke's coming out. Aggressive smoke's coming out. Going... Wow, on top of the ship and off the ship. Probably not giving Virtual Secret the kind of suppression they wanted from them. But hey, these things happen. 2, tight on the objective. Blizz behind Torvenator, able to cover him in the event of a flash or a push. Stitch holding the central line. And then 2 Virtual Secrets. Maxim. And Excise covering the west. The real push from EVF is coming down the east. Smoke's coming out of the center, possibly to try and draw the attention away from the real push on the east. And also to cover Thought and Castile as they push up. Well, FR, Jim looking for the kills, looking for Torvenator. They know there has to be a defender here. The objective is here, merely 15 meters away. Maxim finding Thought on a nice long line. Excise finding Castile on a cross line. The west holds. 2 attackers down, but the real attack is still yet to come. Torvenator has been found on a tight angle, cheeky angle. C4 comes over and gets all 3 players. Wow, and his own teammate, so he'll actually be punished for that, but still, amazing C4 work coming from Blizzardvark there as he catches the 3 attacking EVF players, bring it 2-0 to Virtual Secret. Great C4 play there. That's right, I said C4 play. Let's see, you know what, I'm going to mess around with the replay. I'm going to see if I manage to get that replay. I have not done this before. I did it a bit late. I'm doing it in the wrong place. Do it again. No, I waited too long. Okay, in the future, I will remember to try and capture that straight away. Apologies, everyone. I suck. These are all new gadgets I'm not used to using. My bad. But in the future, the replays will be real. Virtual Secret then, taking the second point. Very tight defense. They lost 1 defender early on. He was resible, possibly able to call out, in fact, that C4 attack. Perfect C4 air placement from Blizzardvark there. Taking out the 3 remaining attackers from EVF, who were in a great position to push the objective if they'd been able to get Blizzardvark down. EVF probably feeling a little bit rattled now, having lost map 1 4-1 and currently 2-0 down on USS Quest. Although Thought almost held that defense, other than that Thought hold, it was a 4 versus 1 situation. Well, actually, 4 Virtual Secret up in both situations. Of course, Thought managed to bring it down to a 1 versus 1, but Virtual Secret definitely still showing dominance in the early parts of map 2. Showing dominance in round 1 and round 2, despite Thought's heroisms. Blizzardvark showing his own kind of heroism as he killed his own, sacrificed his own down teammate for victory. Takes a certain kind of courage. We travel now into round 3 as we ride an aircraft carrier covered in shipping containers on top of a bath. Virtual Secret on the attack. Now, a similar defensive objective to the previous one. In fact, it's about 10 meters away from where the previous objective was. So, a lot of teams like to exercise the same kind of defense and offense tactics. But we can see the defense lineup now from EVF much different to the previous ones. They choose to have, again, not really choosing to hold the central line, as they have 3 in the east and 2 in the west. Excised on the back line finds Monsieur. Gets the confirmation, 50 bullets in. Castile and Thought hold the red line. Maximum on a tight line through the middle, looking for a pickup. Jim on a similar line, looking for return fire. Thought and Castile, meanwhile. Grenades going into the bath again. Flashes, grenades. Free fire on both sides. Very hard to cover this. Exines fights Will FR on the back line in a similar position. Exines now with 2 kills. Thought finds Maxim. Bringing it to a 3 versus 4. Castile finds Blizzardvark as the east push crumbles. Torvenator now, the only person left in the east, facing off against Castile. Thought on a tight angle, looking into the center. Stidge and Excise on the west. Stidge finding Thought, who was tucked in, leaving 2 defenders versus 3 attackers. Excise now is going to pick up Jim X. Jim X sees him, charges down behind him, picks up Jim X. Meanwhile, Torvenator taking out Castile. It's now 1 versus 2. Stidge takes down Jim X, bringing 3 points to Virtual Secret Store. Stidge making sure that the enemy's dead. Double tap, he's obviously been watching Zombieland. Virtual Secret again commanding attack as EVF's defense fails to hold. Managed to bring it to a 2 versus 1 temporarily. The EVF certainly not being pushed over, but Virtual Secret still showing absolute dominance. EVF now 1 point away from losing the series. Virtual Secret so close to taking it home. Very confident plays again from Virtual Secret. EVF able to shut down the initial east push. Was not to be as the east managed to push through. Thought on a tight line covering the central area, was picked up again by Excise. The lip of, so the west lip of this boat is so important. Like, I see some teams completely ignore it and just make sure they got there's no sightlines from it, but you can see there, I mean, Excise able to pick up 2 EVF players, attempting to hold that line. And of course, if you push up, it gives, you're able to peek over the top and catch enemy players unawares, and there's great sight lines to be had from the lips as well. A lot of factors to this map. You've got the east red alleyway, you've got the central containers, which can offer great pushing lines of fire, especially if you've got smokes to cover your flanks, and then of course you've got the lip on the west. Offers a direct path. As we go into round number 4, what could be the final round of this map and could close out the series for Virtual Secret. Early smokes coming out from EVF into the central area. Maxim bounce, finds Castile. Jim X on the refrag, but doesn't manage to pick up the bullets. Maxim refiring, wow, bullet holes directly behind Jim as Maxim tried to zero him in. Excise on crossfire angles as well, as in the back, a similar position to what we saw before from Excise. Monsieur holding the back, Thought and Will FR. Grenade comes out, catches Blizzardvark perfectly. GMX finding Excise on the west side now. Grenades coming out. Jim looking for Maxim, unable to pick him up. Maxim comes back in for the refire. Torvenator in with the res on Blizzardvark, bringing it to a 4 versus 4. Thought pushes up, not quite in time. No follow-up grenades, finishing off Blizz, catching Torvenator. Thought comes around fast, takes down Blizzardvark, punishing Torvenator, looking for the refrag. Picks up Thought FR, Will pushing in for a refrag. Meanwhile, Maxim in the middle, facing off against Jim. Jim picks up Maxim. Monsieur on the flank. Stidge charging around, catches Jim in the back. Will now. Stidge completely unaware. Will's right behind him. Will missing him like crazy, managed to pick him up. There's now one Virtual Secret defender left against two EVF attackers. Does Will have an idea where he is? Monsieur most certainly does not. He's quite far out of position. Torvenator pushing up as this final defender. He's leaving the objective wide open. Fortunately for him, it's not being capped right now. Making a lot of noise. Will, possibly with an idea the enemy's right next to him. Comes round, metal in the way. Torvenator Will have no idea how close they are to each other. They catch sight, and it's a trade. But with one EVF player out of the fight, point goes to EVF. And again, we see a repeat of last time where it's 3-0 for Virtual Secret. And EVF holding on by their nails to this series. It's not over yet. Great push from Thought there, opening up the east side. The primary defenders going down in the west. Two great pincer movements from EVF. Refrags left, right, and center. That's the nature of a map like this. Refrags, you know, if you have a teammate close by, it's almost always possible to, you know, so many angles you can peek around from. But refrags are coming hot and fast. No real attempts on objectives yet, we've seen. No real cap attempts on either map, really. I mean, it looked like the EVF had a potential for a cap at the end of Suburbia, but no real cap attempts yet. We go into round number 5, map 2 with EVF. Trying to hold on. Hey, I haven't left the overlay up yet. Not once. Check me out. I don't completely suck. I only kind of suck. You see Thought. Jim charging forward on aggressive defensive positions. Maxim, Stidge, Excise coming forward to meet them. Blizzardvark on a tight line. Thought punished for his aggressive play. Jim holding the central area though. Stidge. Excise, Stidge, Maxim still holding the central area. Torvenator in the east. Not actually pushing up in the east, just holding it for a flank. Big shots down there just to hold back any would-be flankers. Castile now on the side looking for a pick. Jim holding the center. Stidge pushing up. Excise punishing Castile. Now the west side completely opened up. Stidge charging out. Jim X has no sightlines on him. Monsieur pushing up on the flank though. The Excise finds him. If Excise hadn't been there, that would have been a lot of trouble for Virtual Secret, but it's 5 versus 2 as Jim finds Stidge. Blizzardvark charging around, and the refrag is real, but he finds Stidge right before he dies. So it's now what? No, he doesn't. He'd already found him. It's 1 versus 4 now with Will. Solo defender getting taken down by Excise and Torvenator, giving the series to Virtual Secret. EVF putting up a brave defense, but ultimate Virtual Secret taking it away and taking the series. Stay tuned, there'll still be another map. But Virtual Secret have put this one in the bag with a 4-1, 4-1. Great fights, great confidence, great attacks from Virtual Secret. Good defense from EVF, but just overrun. They kept trying to push players up the west side, and they kept getting punished for it. EVF with three deaths on the west side, all within about 2 meters of each other. Kill count in the end. Virtual Secret. 8 kills to Excise as he kept cleaning up that west flank. Maxim on 5, Torvenator on 5, Blizzardvark on 2, Stidge on 3. And I don't know the rest of the kills because we're moving on to the next and last map, which is, ladies and gentlemen, Subway. Map number 3 then, Virtual Secret. Opening on the defense on Subway. USS Quest, the custom map we saw tonight. Virtual Secret already won the series, but AVF, I guess, a strong player on Subway. And I know Virtual Secret are no slouches on Subway either, so this will be an interesting map to close it out. Subway has some new objectives on it, and very interesting objectives. Really change up the way you have to play the map. That's when those objectives are in play. Of course, whenever I'm playing those new objectives, I always get them confused and run to completely the wrong place, especially as the attacker, whereas I think I'm being really clever, charging on the objective, and it's not there, because it's above ground, above me instead. So, I am, again, not very good at this game. I played for Boss Fight. They are a top 5 team, and somehow I'm in that team. Don't know how that happened. Virtual Secret, EVF. Virtual Secret. The only thing I can remember about Virtual Secret on this map was one of the players, Rich. They were 3-2 up. They had a 4 versus 1 advantage. One of their players was down, one of the enemy players was down, and Rich rezzed one of the enemy players, who knifed Rich, knifed a down player, and then capped because none of Virtual Secret realized the objective was wide open. They didn't realize the enemy had been rezzed. Round 1, map 3, Virtual Secret on defense on the Coke Machine objective. Always an interesting one to hold, because despite what it looks like, the actual objective... Wow, I almost left the overlay up. Whew. That was close. Anyway, the objective, despite what it looks like, is actually quite hard to defend once the enemy gets in, because they can get behind this pillar, or they can get behind this sign. Cap. Completely uncontested if the defenders don't have sideline. Castile charges up, manages to get into a really strong defensive position. Stidge finding Will FR on the south stairs at a very tight angle.
Echo 4, southern stair.
Intel going out, so important to call those kills. Excise on a sight, interesting tight sight line looking central. Castile gets sighted by Maxim, but shots ring out late. Still bringing out his pistol and just, I guess, putting some annoying fire as he brings Monsieur on his defense. Meanwhile, Jim X, 78, in the up and over, completely uncontested. But given Virtual Secret's defensive lineup here, Jim X will not be able to find any defenders. A really interesting, actually when you look at it, a really interesting defensive makeup. They have no one anywhere near the objective. Very strong East presence looking towards the objective. And Excise is the closest person to it, but even Excise isn't that close. Excise's perspective here. Yeah, he'll be able to get a cross in, but a single smoke will stop his vision and open up very, very keen cap potential. Jim now coming round, finds a trade with Maxim. Not sure. With his teammate. They don't know it's a trade. They don't know it's 3 versus 5. It's tucked in at the moment. The way has been opened for them, so to speak. A single smoke grenade could really, really ruin Virtual Secret's day here. Dot pushing up. Torvenator on a tight line. Now, the objective is wide open. I really like... Oh! Excise with a cheeky C4 finding Castile. Definitely resable though. Excise not pushing up for the kill. And again, a single smoke will ruin Virtual Secret's day once you're able to go in quite safely for the res. Meanwhile, Thought looking for any potential counter kills. Counter positions. No enemies in sight. Again, all of them are behind him. Take it back. Stitch now moving up. Very important push. Excise picking up Castile on that cross. V. Monsieur V? Monsieur? Looking for Excise, doesn't find him, tucks back in. Feeling a lot of pressure here now with Stidge and Excise with sight lines crossing there. Again, a single smoke. This could be the smoke, but it's not far enough. It won't give him the cover he needs. He repositions the smoke, and this is perfect now. If he can get... Wait, no, that was a... No, he's not repositioning the smoke. That was a frag grenade. A shame, because that smoke could have given him the cap. Again, he can't know that. He chooses to reposition completely. I like it. Stage and Excise zeroed in on an angle where there no longer is a player. Meanwhile, Thought still looking for any kind of pickup. He's traversing around the double down areas, looking in vain for the defenders, unable to find them. So you reach the mid-map lull point as Monsieur has rotated to the south double down and Thought on the north double down. Blizzardvok though on tight sight lines. Yes, Thought has to get past Tolvinator and Blizzardvok's tight sight lines here to traverse the objective. This puts the advantage cleanly in Virtual Secret's court. Thought seen. Blizzardvok's shots come out. Takes a while, but he picks up Thought FR, leaving Monsieur V as the sole attacker. Creepy, creepy, creepy. 1 versus 4. He's got his work cut out. Little did he know, he was in a very, very, very strong position just now. Now, arguably, he's not in that weak a position, but time is against him with 1:09 on the clock. The defenders who are remaining in the east don't have sightlines on when Monsieur will be attacking from. In fact, neither does Excise and Stidge, but he will have to cross Excise's sightlines to get anywhere near the objective from that approach, or he'll have to cross Tolvinator's sightlines to get from the other direction. 50 seconds left on the clock. He has to make a choice. Chooses charging out towards Excise. Excise doesn't have sights on. Wow. Team kill comes out from Excise, taking down Stidge, taking his vision away from where Monsieur was. Monsieur, they're picking up Stidge. Team kill is real and could cost Virtual Secret dearly. Monsieur V now has a clean sightline to the objective. 20 seconds left on the clock. It's completely undefended. Blizzardvok putting suppression down. He doesn't know that the objective is clear. Monsieur comes back up. Having reloaded. Picks up Blizzardvok. It's still a cap potential though. He's dropped his tablet. Time's running out. I think he's out of time. This should have been a cap. This could have been a cap. But it won't be. Time runs out as Virtual Secret hold. That should have been a cap for EVF. But Blizzardvok's shots, the suppression coming out there was enough to dissuade the cap. And if Monsieur had reloaded his gun, again, he may have been able to kill Blizz and then get the cap in. But unfortunately, due to that lapse in judgment and not reloading his gun, the extra lag on that kill meant that he ran out of time far before he was able to enter the code. But a great, great attempt from him. Excise's mistake almost costing Virtual Secret dearly there. Virtual Secret opening the map, the round 3, having already taken the series with the first point, an initial strong defense which crumbled towards the end. Blizz, fortunately for Virtual Secret, realizing that they had with the death of Excise and Stidge, the objective was wide open to a cap from the south. His suppression fire enough to stall the cap long enough for him to the time run out. Words are hard. As we go now into round 2, map 3. Virtual Secret's defense, very, very different to what I'm used to seeing. I liked it a lot. Some obvious weaknesses that EVF could have taken advantage of. But other than that, great original tactics coming out as we see EVF taking a very aggressive oh, and I have to stay with these two. I don't know what else is going to happen for the rest of the map, but I have to stay with Castile. As they run into Stidge. Stidge picks up Jim. Castile gets the refrag. Jim is resable though. Opening moments of this map. Super exciting as 2 Virtual Secret players transition in the north. Lull now. No one close to seeing each other as Maximum now pushing down the south. Will FR, though, has sight lines. Maxim chooses to charge into that room, which is what most people would do. He will get caught by Will. Great cheeky push from EVF there as they continue the... Actually, they don't continue the flank. They've got 3 players downstairs right now. I don't really understand. Have they got the objective confused? If you look, they've got 3 players downstairs scouring for Virtual Secret players. They're realizing that Castile now coming back to the objective. Maximum. Very close to an engagement with Will. Meanwhile, in the north, Virtual Secret pushing in where did we lose thought? At the back of the map. So it seems that Blizzardbark engaging Castile. Castile pushing back. It seems thought was taken up and over. Flash comes out. Counter flash comes out. Castile engaging Blizz. Blinded, pulling back. Will, meanwhile, as I kept predicting, picking up Maximum. Sure, picking up Excise. Virtual Secret down to 2.5 attackers now. Oh, sorry, losing track of my own cameras. Zavlok deploying a smoke and falling back. Meanwhile, the north push from Virtual Secret still going unopposed. Still could bring them victory. I am looking at a down player. That is not clever of me. Tornado. Excise is calling desperately for the res. A smoke giving ample opportunity potentially for a revive. Tornado choosing not to though, and actually Tornado's not in an easy position to reposition back up. Tornado picking up Will FR. And Monsieur, as Monsieur comes up around him, picking up 2 kills, swinging it back in Virtual Secret's favor. Steel on the up and over, not realizing that
I'm coming.
Virtual Secret player has transitioned north now. All of the Virtual Secret players now in the north. Oh, Tornado being picked up as Castile rotates round on the up and over. Tornado resable. Now 2 Virtual Secret players resable.
Northern stairs, middle of overpass stairs.
Zavlok now could turn this around. If he's able to get these 2 reses, he could turn it around for Virtual Secret, but at the moment, Virtual Secret
He passed the twin. I think he's on the spot where
on the disadvantage. Castile now taking sight lines off the north. The res are right wide open for Blizz now to pick up X-Sides, who can pick up Tornado. There's no sight lines at all covering this. Meanwhile, Castile going to res Will FR in the distance. This could bring it back to a 3 versus 3. Wow. 3 reses coming in quick succession as Blizzardbug finds Castile. Excise reses Tornado. Counter fire comes back from Jim. Jim picks up Blizzardbug and it's 2 versus 2.
You get him?
Excise picks up Jim. Will FR now the sole defender.
Okay.
They have a kill count, a clear kill count on the remaining defender, but they don't know his location. If they did, they could potentially go for a cap. But until they can identify where that solo defender is, Excise charging in. Does Will have sight lines? Tornado pre-fire potentially picking up Will FR. Potential for a cap gone, but Virtual Secret taking the point all the same. Well, great round then. Really, just the action just moving all over the place and really confusing this idiot camera man, me, that is, as I try to keep up with the action as it flexed all over the place. Move, counter move. For a while there, it looked like EVF's defense was going to hold, but Virtual Secret down to 1 player, managing to pick it up to 3 players, and then cutting down the defenders one by one. Castile arguably making the right move to move out, reposition to cover the objective, thinking the north was secure, not realizing he had not confirmed the kill, and that there were 2 resable players, and that the 3rd Virtual Secret player had fallen back from an up and over and gone for that res. Nobody could have seen that coming. Or at least I couldn't have seen that coming, but as previously mentioned, I'm not very good at this game. Virtual Secret again leading the example that they've set in the first two maps, taking the first 2 points. Will they continue the trend that they started of taking the first 3 points, then losing a point, and winning the map? We shall see. As we go into round 3, map 3, EVF versus Virtual Secret. Virtual Secret on a new objective on the cross of the main street. One of the new objectives I mentioned earlier. Really messes with my head. A number of times I've, as an attacker, run downstairs thinking I'm about to cap, only to find the objective is nowhere to be seen. Well, it's quite embarrassing how many times that's actually occurred. Meanwhile, EVF. Downstairs spawn. Choosing to send all of the players downstairs. Oh no, 2 of the players up and over, 3 of the players down. Give my camera work as I charge round to catch up with Monsieur and Thought. They speak a beautiful language. Push up on the up and over. Meanwhile, the other 3 EVF players taking the Volk spawn back alley area, not going to run into any of Virtual Secret's players for some time. Maxim's outline deceptive there, as again, no Virtual Secret players holding this area. Great push. Look at this cross sight lines from EVF. I love it. They can't see the same lasers that we're seeing. Super effective all the same. Great to see cross lines of fire. Any defender come around there would be cut to ribbons, but look at Virtual Secret's defense here. Very tight. Interesting to see what Blizzardbox doing. Wow. Love that angle. Stealing it. Bit open to flash grenades, flashbangs and grenades, should I say. Castile caught. C4 catching Castile on that flank. Blizzardvark thinking about throwing a grenade up there to confirm. Grenade comes out. Confirm. It's a flash. Blizzardvark now charging up. It doesn't get the confirm yet. He can't see the body. Well, it's pushed into the area, into the smoke, but cannot find Castile as they go wide. Castile very much resable. Will and Jim, though, still a bit trepidatious about getting Castile up. The edge in to get him up. Meanwhile, Monsieur V and Thought looking for any defenders. Searching for them. Maxim picking up Monsieur V. Damn sign, get out of the way. Thought right behind him, though. Did Maxim realize 2 ran in there or not? Stitch picks up Will FO on the corner. Grenade! Beautiful grenade from Maximum. Picking up Thought, putting the attackers down to 2 attackers. Virtual Secret holding strong with a full 5-man. Castile and Jim falling away from that attack pattern now. Rotating round to where 2 of the teammates just died. Great grenade by Maximum. If that had been me throwing the grenade, I'm pretty sure it would have just flown up and then back down on my head and killed me. Because, and as previously stated, not very good. Great. Movements from Castile and Jim. A bit too close to each other. Good hand gestures coming out. Good non-verbal communication as they cover each other's sight lines. Castile not ready for Maxim, but his reactions carry the day as he downs Maxim. Max calling out the remaining attacker. Excise is ready for him. Jim is not. Oh, a team kill comes out. Wow, Virtual Secret on the team kills tonight.
Torvenator, what the fuck?
Torvenator making the mistake. Excise even knows it was Torvenator who shot him. Fortunately, Jim is looting rather than pushing.
Still in the corner.
Maxim pushing him, calling him out. Jim doesn't have his gun up. Odd play from Jim there, not confirming the player, or possibly didn't have sightlines on him. Maxim able to call him out continually. As Virtual Secret continue their trend of taking the first 3 points. Fantastic plays by Virtual Secret at the moment. Great tight defense. I mean, okay, fine. The team killing, not so great. But the rest of it, absolutely prime examples of a team who've been working and working hard on their plays. Not to count out EVF. EVF still playing well. You can see the good non-verbal communication. And again, whenever you saw teams of two, they were working well together. Cover angles, cover lines. It's just not quite paying off the same way as it's paying off for Virtual Secret. A real treat tonight. I didn't know what kind of game we were going to be seeing, but I'm really enjoying these two teams. Great matchup. Obviously, Virtual Secret showing dominance, but not clear dominance. You know, EVF still pushing them every single round. As we go into what quite possibly could be the final round of the night. Unless, as I've said for like the last 3 times, we see the template established by these two teams revisited, where Virtual Secret take the first 3 points and EVF take the final point. Well, sorry, take a point and then Virtual Secret close it out. Let's see if that is to be. Maybe they've had some pre-arranged agreement. They were going to fit this template. I'm just being absurd. Let's see how this plays out. Wow, initial engage straight away. Excise picking up one. Monsieur V very lucky to escape that fire. The guns were down. They did not realize the Virtual Secret could be so close. Jim coming out as Excise was looking for Monsieur V. Maxim still on that line. Comes out looking for Jim. Jim isn't ready for it, but it's tucked in either way. Meanwhile, Blizzardvark putting suppression fire as Thought falls back. Thought pulling well back now, but that's a great play because Virtual Secret will not be expecting that. Stitch pushing up aggressively. Where's the player? He can't find him. He's clearing left and right, left and right. Meanwhile, Castile comes in from behind. Stitch picks up Jim. Castile picks up Torvenator on the flank. Oh, again, the action happening super thick and fast. Sorry for moving the camera so fast, but I just had to make sure I got in position. Stitch pushes up Castile, halts his flank. Monsieur V on a flank as well. They could actually get a team kill situation as Castile comes around from behind Maxim. Maximum is tucked in. Castile looks for him, doesn't find him, rotates back around. The objective held by just one EVF player, and the objective is actually very capable right now. Thought finds Stitch and holds it. Castile on that flank round now as it's down to one Virtual Secret attacker. As EVF just attack defenders just all over the place, apart from Thought. I mean, look at this. You'd think they're an attacking team from where they're coming from. Maximum now looking for the defenders. He doesn't have a clue where they are. He's just like, how did I run here without seeing any shots or hearing any people? Okay, maybe he hears some French in the distance now. Tight lanes. He's going to find Castile. Finds Castile. Possibly giving his position away to Monsieur V and Thought. No, it doesn't look like they don't have tight lines on him. They don't know quite where he is. He comes out in front of Monsieur V. Comes in. Managed to get the frag out. Communication coming right on Maximum's position. Maxim unable to get that kill. Grenade unable to find Maximum. Thought. Tight sightline. It's going to be very hard for Maxim to come out of this and survive. Comes out in front of Thought. Thought's shots ringing wide, but then manages to zero in the kill as the trend continues. EVF putting a point on the board. Can they take the map? Can they bring it back? It remains to be seen, but great plays there. Crazy flanks coming out from EVF. Very unexpected plays. A real pleasure to see. Heading now into round 5. Market defense. Virtual Secret on the defense here now. On the defense here now.
So you're watching my backstage.
Let's see if they can hold out this final round and make every single one of the maps 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Choosing to not have a tight hold. Again, I'd love Virtual Secret's defensive lineups here because they're not what I would usually see. Bot looking for a counterflank. Jim coming around. Could run into Blizzardvark very soon though. Does not suspect Blizz is there. Blizz being very patient. Could hear the footsteps next to him. Jim has no idea. C4 completely unnecessarily taking down Jim from Blizz there. Completely unnecessary C4, but worked all the same. I don't think Blizz was expecting an enemy to come around that corner like that. Castile now and Will covering each other as they push down this angle, but Blizz has great sight lines if he's watching down. But he's got his back to him. Gets picked up by Castile. Castile with a shotgun. Stitch coming out with the refrag. Picks up Castile. Meanwhile, Will looking for the refrag back on Stitch. Does not find it. Thought in the main alley. Monsieur V on the up and over as EVF down to 3 attackers against Virtual Secrets. 4 defenders. Thought Monsieur V slowly pushing on the main street. Will FR in the back alleys looking for Stitch, looking for the person who killed his friend. Well, I assume they're friends. Let's just, okay, killed his ally then. We got teammate. We're teammate. Sweeping shot. Stitch not in a great defensive position. I mean, it's not a bad defensive position, but it's very counter-attackable by grenades and flashbangs. Because you can just lob it and bounce it against the wall. So I'm trying to avoid positions like that. But this is not an unusual defensive spot and not a weak spot by any stretch of the imagination. Exi's getting a little bit antsy. Monsieur and Thought now in the main alley. Doing to cross paths with Torvenator. He slowly peeks out. Trade comes out between Thought and Torvenator. Monsieur looking behind him. Sees his dead teammate. Not quite sure what's happened. I guess the sound was playing tricks on him because he seems to think the attack was coming from behind. He's not watching where the attack did actually come from. Charges around looking for the attacker. Not realizing maybe that the attacker is dead and in a completely different direction. Meanwhile, Stitch and Will still patiently waiting each other out. Monsieur V slowly transitions back to his previous position. Maximum on the corner looking for him. You're now V looking, possibly seeing the dead body of the enemy teammate traded with. At afar, still looking for Stitch. V holding his position, looking at the map. Stitch going for a peek, could catch Will. Now it's all down to Monsieur V. Smoke comes out, blinding Maximum V. Now again, this is a real cap potential. If Monsieur V was able to get into that smoke, he could cap from within that smoke on the edge line, and Maximum would have no idea. There's no cross angles on that. Okay, XI is now coming across angle, but Monsieur V now repositioning all the way around where his teammate died. And I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this movement just because he's got no confirmation here. He just knows a teammate died in this area. He's got 2 dead teammates in front of him and no confirmation of any dead body, enemy dead bodies. He'll find one now in Blizzardvark, but it's an interesting push. I understand why he's doing it because he's dropped the smoke and repositioned, but don't know if it's going to pay off because, well, Stitch is still there. I know Monsieur V can't know that, but Monsieur V now gets caught by Stitch, and we have another 4-1 situation as Virtual Secret take the final map, 4-1 on Suburbia, 4-1 on USS Quest, and 4-1 on Subway, showing clear dominance across all 3 maps. Great plays by EVF with Virtual Secret, taking the day. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, due to technical difficulties in the early quarter of this of tonight's scheduled matchup, I've overrun by half an hour, and there's probably divorce proceedings ongoing as we speak. So I will have to sign off now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed casting it. It was a great lineup. Virtual Secret versus EVF. Remember, this is just week 1. This is probably one of the first casts you would have seen for the new season. Season 11. Onward, VRML. New casters all over the place. New maps. New build. New teams. It's going to be a very, very, very exciting season. I cannot wait to see how it all shakes up, how the leaderboard changes, and how the new faces and how the new elite teams start challenging the old blood, as they already have done in Season 10 and in the off-season. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a good night, good day, good morning, wherever you are. Stay tuned for more VRML Onward as the season continues, and keep your eyes open for more casted matches this week and beyond. Bye-bye.